Greetings, beloved. I'm Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach here at the historic First United Methodist Church in downtown Elgin, Illinois, with another motivational moment from the Bible. In these moments, we try to take what you may hear in worship, whether you are in person, you get it online, on your phone, however you get that. We want to take those biblical concepts and to make them a part of your everyday life. This week, we want to focus in on this idea, sold out. Not S-O-L-D out, but sold, like your soul, out. Let me see if I can tell you what I mean. Whether anybody tells you or not, you and I are a three-part being. You and I are spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body. We're spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. Our soul is comprised of our mind, our will, and our emotions. And it's often our spirit who, Bible tells us, if we can get our spirit right, then our spirit can help to direct our mind and our soul. Every day, you and I we make decisions about how will we be directed. Will we be directed by the Spirit of God? Will we be directed by ourselves? Will we be directed by our physical desires, right? And so we often need some clear direction on how that happens or how that should happen. In Romans 12, verses 1 and 2, Paul offers this powerful prescription on how we can be sold out for God. And he says these powerful words that are right here beside me. Therefore, I love it in the King James Version. It's how I remembered it. Therefore, I urge you. The King James says, I beseech you, sisters and brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies, that's all of who you are, as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your reasonable worship. Don't conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you will be able to prove what is God's good and pleasing and perfect will. Well, what in the world does that mean? First of all, it means that when you and I come to the Bible, we don't read the Bible for the Bible to be changed into what we think it should mean. We come to the Bible for it to change how we think, how we believe, how we behave. That's why you never outgrow Sunday school or Bible study. It's why you need a study Bible. It's why you should be in a community of people to learn, to think, to understand that the Bible is not all 21st century English. It has historical context. There are things that are written there that have different meanings because of the context in which they were written. There are rules for reading the Bible, just like there are rules for reading any kind of literary text. You're in community so that you can get a fuller picture of what God is, and then to have some accountability, because it's easy for us to be self-deceived. Beloved, here's the point. We say that we go to worship on Sunday morning. We go to church on Sunday. But how you and I really worship God, whether we display to a watching world that we love God with all our heart, our mind, our soul, and our strength, has nothing to do with whether we raise our hands, sing hymns, know when to stand, when to sit, read our Bible, pray or fast 40 hours or 40 minutes. It has to do with what happens when we leave those worship spaces and enter into the world. Do we act like God's people once we are out in with the rest of the folks? I mentioned just a couple weeks ago that so many of us only want to hang around with Christian people. And I likened it to, if you are in a place with a lot of light, a candle doesn't make any difference at all. But when you take that candle to places that are dark, that candle has tremendous impact. When Jesus was talking about this whole idea about how we are to really live into that great commandment of loving God and loving our neighbors as ourselves, if you remember, he said that the question wasn't about who was our neighbor. The question was really about who are we a neighbor to. Beloved, you and I need to be transformed by renewing our mind, and renewing our mind by the word of God. And then once we do that, then every decision we make, it comes in light of God's Spirit. And once we do that, you and I, as we're doing those things, as we're praying, as we're fasting, as we are engaging in works of mercy, charity, and justice, you and I doing that more and more and submit ourselves more and more to God, then it's not hard to follow God. It's not hard to obey God. It's not hard to love God. It's not hard to be sold out. Because then our mind is made up. Our heart is fixed that Jesus is our one desire, that Jesus is our one passion. We are sold out. So you know that we're in the midst of this series, Faith on the Fence, and I want to challenge you to ask yourself, is there anything in your life that's taken up and become an idol in your life more than Jesus? Are you a fan versus a follower? That means you got the t-shirt, but are you in the game? Are you a Christian atheist? You read the words, but you have a little thing that says, but, so you have an excuse to do what you want. Have you made you, yourself, your spouse, your partner, your kids, somebody else God in your life, your boss, your job, whatever, your money, your position? And again, if you have, remember, I told you all you have to do is ask God, tell God you're sorry and ask God to help you be sold out. To help you do that, I pray that you stick around for this week's Refresh Your Soul moment. And the song for this week is Matt Redman's I'm Getting Back to the Heart of Worship, where it's not about us. It's not about if the choir is off key or we found the bulletin. It's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you, Jesus. Beloved, you and I both need to get back to the heart of worship. I pray that you'll stick around for this week's Refresh Your Soul moment and pray it as often as you need it. I know that I need it a lot. And I pray that I'll see you here next week. I am Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach here at the historic First United Methodist Church. Be blessed, and I'll see you here next week. Bye-bye.